What's up everyone, it's Scotty with MoneyVest. So in this video, I wanted to go over the seasonality of October, November, and December. We are heading into Q4 starting tomorrow. So the third quarter is behind us. September, the worst month of 2023, is also behind us. And I'm going to go over the expectations and also talk a little bit about how to prepare yourself for the upcoming months here, because obviously looking at seasonality, October, November, and more specifically December, returns for the S&P 500 for the market only start to get better and better and better seasonality wise. And there's also a very specific chart that I want to go over by Carson Research, which basically suggested that there is over a 92% probability that we are going to see a very strong Q4. Hang with me here. So hope you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. Tonight's literally the last night after midnight. The link's gonna expire for that 16% annual discount. So if you want to be a part of our Discord for our MoneyVest community and our Patreon and get access to all the alerts and members only private videos, links are going to be down below and we'd love to have you on board. So this right here was September of 2023. So we were down a little bit over 4%, and you'll notice that September obviously has been a little bit of a brutal month. Obviously, it's the worst month of the year when it comes to stock market, with about 41 years have been down years, and now 42 years have been down years, because we also are done with 2023. So 2023 is also going to pop up right over here with a negative year of about, I would say, negative month of about 4 point something percent, right? So that's going to be 4 point something percent. And again, you'll notice the average return has been minus 0.8%. Last 3 years, 2023, actually last 4 years, 2023, 2022, 2021, and 2020, all the last 4 years have been down by at least 4%, if not more. September of 22 obviously was brutal, down almost 9%. And we are on this 4-year losing streak when it comes to the month of September. Now, that being said, we are also entering an environment where October, November, December is usually one of the best times for the market from a seasonality perspective. So if you come over and take a look at what October, November, December, specifically more October was like, 45 up years for the market with only 28 down years, right? So if you take into that account in terms of probability, what does that come out to? 60, we're talking about 73, so 45 divided by 73, we're looking at 61% of the times the markets have been higher in the month of October. The last time we were down was back in 2020. And of course, before that was 2018, with an average gain of about 0.79% for the market. But last couple years, right, 2022 and 2021, very solid gains of 6 to 7%. These are pretty sizable gains, right? If you think about the market, the S&P 500 being up 6 to 7%, that means that a lot of individual stocks were up like 10, 12, 14, 16, 18% during that month. If the indexes, the aggregates are up over 6 to 7%, that's a very, very solid move. This right here is going to be November, and November, you'll notice 2022. So last year, once again, we saw a very, very massive gain of about 4.5%. The year before that, we were obviously red by about 1%, so not as brutal as September. And 2020 and 2019, we were also green. 2020 more specifically, up almost 10% for the market. So this right here, again, very, very nice gains for the market in November. And December is the best month, like no doubt about it. Probability wise, it is literally the best month from a seasonality perspective, because 54 up years is what we have seen. So 54 divided by 73 basically gives you a win rate of about 74%. 74%. And what's interesting here is that if the markets are down in the month of August and September, right? So let's just go over to a couple more statistics here. By the way, the fourth quarter is historically the strongest of the year. You'll notice a 79.5% of the times it is higher by about average 4.2%. So that's the average gain in the fourth quarter. Q3 is the weakest time of the year, and we just got done with third quarter, right? August, September was red for the S&P 500 and for the NASDAQ. We went over that in our previous videos. And this is the chart that I wanted to highlight in this video, which is going to be very, very important. Great research report here. So basically what this suggests is that if the month of August and September, so if both of these months are basically red for the S&P 500, how October and Q4 overall have played out. And what you'll notice is, obviously, in 2023, we've seen 1.8% decline in August and 4.2% decline in September. And we're going to obviously see what October and Q4 looks like. But on average, there's been a 77% win rate, in other words, a rate where the markets were higher in October, and over a 92% chance or probability the markets were higher after August and September were red, and this is for Q4. So in other words, in the fourth quarter, the markets to be higher, right? There's a 92.3% probability once we see August and September to be red. And this has happened every single time. There's only been one instance, this was back in 1957, where August, September, October, and the entire Q4 was red, right? There's only been one instance. Every other single instance, we've seen August, September to be red. So you can see all these losses here. But Q4 and October has been very, very green. Maybe one more instance in the 1990s where October was down slightly, 0.7%, but we still kind of managed to eke out almost an 8% gain in the fourth quarter. So every single time, fourth quarter was higher for the market, except for one instance in the 1957s when August and September was down at least over 1%. So very, very important chart, 92% probability. That definitely does suggest, bulls have something in store for themselves in the upcoming months here. October, November, December is going to be a good opportunity for us to trade to the upside, good opportunity to dollar cost average to the upside, take advantage of those deals, and of course invest as the markets start to move back higher. This right here is since 1964. Again, you can see the seasonality in October, November, December, August, September being the worst months of the year. And this is another chart that we've gone over before, which basically does suggest, once again, September being the worst month, down almost 1.07%, and the next 3 months being incredibly strong here for the market, with a almost 60% win rate for October, over 60% win rate for November, and over a 74% win rate for December. So it progressively gets better and better. And of course, January also tends to be very strong at over 1%. So that's where we are for seasonality. So, super exciting times potentially ahead. And even if this seasonality is not as meaningful, this is very useful right here, because 92% probability is no joke. And this is going back as far as 1950s. Every time August, September was down over at least 1%, October and Q4 tends to be incredibly strong with high probability of success. And what's also interesting that I didn't point out is the average gain. What you'll notice is the median and the average gain is at least over 7% from where we are. So if you go over to the S&P 500, and if you basically point to where we are at the moment at 4288, so just under 4300, a 7% gain is going to put us back up to the same level at where we were at the beginning of, or at the end of July. That's going to be just under 4,600. So that's going to be the level to pay attention to for the S&P. A 7.5% gain obviously is going to be very strong for individual stocks, because in that scenario, of course, we've got Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, AMD, all these companies pushing up like 10, 20, 30% to get the aggregates up over 7.5%. So looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think? As always, if you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining. And of course, getting access to all the buy and sell alerts, options alerts, trade ideas, members only private videos. Links are going to be down below. As always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.